Did you see the Trey Lance interview with Rich Eisen yet?
I saw 4 minutes and 44 seconds of it on Twitter where he talked about a few things. I haven't seen the whole thing.
When I watched Trey
How long was
talk, that's a good question because I haven't watched it all.
I got to go watch the whole thing, but I've watched a nice,
as you said, I watched about
segment.
5 minutes of it. Right?
Okay, I watched 5 minutes. Yeah,
which tells us tells our audience a little bit about our attention span, maybe. But I every time I see Trey talk, I can see why the Niners drafted him.
Yeah, he's great. He's really good. What did he say? He's like, look, I needed something to do. I went to college. Give me something to do. So he was, as opposed to the other quarterback who I don't know. But Trey was involved in what? Was he charting pressures and what was he doing?
He was charting pressure.
Yeah.
Basically. He's
and
like,
he
I
wanted
to contribute.
Yep.
Which
and he said he doesn't
awesome.
expect to be given the job. He's like, look what Brock did. Are you kidding me? You're going to actually I just want to get a chance to compete. I mean, both of them are so freaking mature. The two of them.
They may not have gotten two great quarterbacks. Time will tell on that, but they got two great guys. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about it. Two guys that every guy in the room would say, yeah, you know what? That guy's a good dude.
I don't know them personally, but professionally, they are so mature and professional. Exactly what you want.
Yeah. And since the quarterback in the NFL has to be the face of your franchise, how they act and what they are as people actually does matter. And they got it right. Now we're gonna find out. Is either guy the guy? I don't know. We've gotten glimpses of greatness from both.
Also, there's the wrinkle of, can Kyle Shanahan keep a guy? Because there was a time when Robert Griffin was looking like the guy for Washington. That one season was the best season the Washington Commanders have had in 30 years, and they broke him. And so I'm not saying it's a pattern, but I'm not saying it's not. That's another part of the equation. Kyle.
No question. We're going to get to Kyle, too.
Yeah.
But I got to ask you this. As far as these quarterbacks are concerned, and I brought this up on a live stream I did yesterday, and it's just kind of a thought that came to me, but I really believe in it, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I really think that this situation this year with the quarterbacks and the 49ers is unique, and it may not be ideal because you got really young guys who both need to play, to get better. And Trey really needs to play to get better because of the circumstances, the pandemic, and everything. I was saying that the one thing I would want if I was Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch is I would want to sit down and say to Brock and to Trey, guys, unlike most years where we start with this is the starter and this is the two, we feel good about both you guys being the one. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with nobody as the one and nobody as the two. We're literally going to have a competition. That's what we want to do because we think, we think you both have a huge future. But I need a guarantee from both you guys right now that if we're going to do this and compete for this job, that whoever loses the job does not publicly, through his agent or otherwise, ask for a trade first week in September or between first week in September and the trade deadline. If we're going forward this year, we don't want that kind of instability. We don't want that kind of distraction. We want everybody on page all year. And so if you win the job, you're sticking. If you lose the job, you're sticking. You're not going to go through your agent or tell, me or you or anybody else September the 9th or October the 5th, hey man, I want out of here. Because that to me will damage their ability to get at something. It will make a huge distraction. It'll be good for guys like us because there'll be so much conjecture, but it won't be good for the football team. Do you think that's a fair way to go about it? To say to Trey and say to Brock, we're going to compete, but if you lose the competition, we may move you off season, but we ain't moving you in season, and we don't want to see a trade demand in season. Is that fair?
I think that is fair. I mean, neither one of these guys is a vet with a ton of. I mean, they're both essentially rookies. One guy's got 4 starts, one guy's got 8. So, I mean, they're in no position to make demands or to leverage the 49ers. They just have to, try to impress the night. And also look at it this way. Whoever wins the competition and starts week 1, that might not necessarily be a good thing because the Niners pattern is the rest of the offense improves as the season goes on,
Right.
and Kyle has a tough time keeping quarterbacks healthy. So if you start week 1, odds are you won't necessarily finish the season. I mean, how many times has Kyle had his quarterback go through the entire season as a coordinator? I think maybe 4 or 5 times in 15 years. So if you lose the competition, Brock, Trey, you're going to get your opportunity eventually, not to be morbid here. You're going to get, it's football, it's violent, and the Niners have a pattern. So you're going to get your opportunity. You got to be ready for it. It's not over at September 10th or whatever.
Yeah. And I believe if you look at the numbers, over half the team or right about half the teams in the league this year used 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So you're going to get your chance.
The way it is in the NFL. I mean,
And Trey, if you don't start week 1, like be like Brock. Be ready. And when you get an opportunity, kill it. That's what Brock did. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
And that's fair. I mean, I think that's fair. But do you see it the way I see it? Do you think that's important? Or do you think that that's not a conversation they need to have? Because I just think that the room.
No. I think you're right. But I don't think Trey or Brock would do that. I think they're, for the reasons we said, they're not that kind of guys. They're young in their career. Jimmy might. Jimmy has Don Yee. He has all this power and money and leverage. These 22-year-old, 23. I think they're in. I think they're all in, and both of them seem like they're open to the competition. I mean, you heard what Trey said today. He's like, I love Brock. Look how good. I want to try to compete. I mean, that's great. Love that.